Are now about to find out who's going to be the first seed of this group, but no one decided into the round of 16 just yet. So time to talk about the match coming up. It is going to be elfi versus Hydra. Nate, welcome to the desk, of course, for today, and let's talk about this a little bit. Now, I want to take your look on it because we've talked about it a lot on the desk. Hydra, you know, Hydra groupie, yeah, coming back. I mean, every season that's been kind of the theme so far in 2015. He made it happen in Season 2, very close in Season 1. Where does he stand right now? I mean, are you also in agreement that, yeah, you know, probably like 90%, maybe more, Hydra is going to be first seed in Group B?
I mean, I consider myself a part of Root as much as any of these guys. I'm all on the Hydra train right here, man. I'm looking at a Season 3 WCS championship for him already. He's unstoppable.
I mean, let's talk about that a little bit, because Polt mentioned yesterday, like half jokingly, well, you know, I think we can all agree that I'm the only one who can beat Hydra, but at the same time, he's the only one who can beat me. Do you think that stands true for Hydra too? He's like, yeah, you know what, pretty much no one can beat me right now, especially coming off of the win in Season 2.
I don't think so. I think a lot of the foreigners actually have a pretty good shot. I mean,
against Hydra?
A lot of the Western players.
Compared to Polt. Polt looked shaky yesterday.
Well, I completely agree that Polt looks shakier than the other guys, but Hydra has been, as far as like results go, the more consistent player. The only inconsistency was the series against Maro, which could be kind of argued as a little weird, but Polt dropped more series to non-Korean players. I mean, he dropped more series in the round of 32
So who would you give the best shot at beating Hydra? Any foreigner?
Anybody in WCS?
Or Polt, yes. Those are the options.
Oh, well, there's no more Bunny. That's tough. That's tough. I would say Polt has a better chance than any of the other non-Korean players for sure.
Okay. I mean, obviously Polt in that one, he was trying to boost himself up a little bit. Where like, oh, Hydra's the only one who could beat me. But Hydra coming in, also when we saw him play against Kelliger, even if he was favored, it seemed like he wasn't taking any chances. He was playing the same StarCraft that he has been for quite some time. Didn't see any slip-ups or hiccups. Whereas, you know, Group A, we were like, well, it was a good day of StarCraft. At the same time, a little bit of shakiness here and there from all four players. So far, Hydra looking solid. So let's talk about elfi then. Where does elfi stand right now? Because he's coming in, he's replacing Thermal, and he had that an interesting match to open up Group B with Star.
As soon as you said that, me and Nate were just like,
I don't know, Ken.
I mean, I hope for the best for elfi at this point, but it's like it's an uphill battle of greatest proportion.
You know, I'm just hoping that elfi did a good job of preparing his Protoss versus Terran, as there's a very good chance he may end up playing against Diego in the deciding match. Honestly, you're going up against Hydra. Give it your A game, but realistically speaking, like elfi just doesn't have the results that say, yeah, I'm going to come in here and upset the best player in this league.
I mean, yeah, again, I think the whole point stands that it's tough for anyone that we're going to have in this group to be like, well, they have a really good shot at this upset. It's a tough one. But what's your take on it? We talked about this earlier in some of the other matches, especially obviously Kelliger versus Hydra. Would you say, elfi, you know what, just try your best, see where you stand? Or, hey, you never know, right? Go for that 1%, 2%. Go for something crazy against Hydra, see where you end up.
Go crazy.
There's no reason not to.
Go big here. Go huge.
Like, if you think about it, on paper, if someone is better than you, you should never beat them in a straight-up game. So you might as well do something crazy, because it's not like his next opponent is going to be a Zerg anyway, right? It would be a Terran if he loses.
Oh, that's true.
And it's, what do you really have to lose? You go ham. If you win big. Everyone talks about how crazy you are, how crazy, you know, Protoss, OP, whatever.
Yes.
But you get to be, you know, you get to be a god for a day. Whereas if you lose, it's like, okay, well, obviously no one was going to beat Hydra. Let's see if you can take out Kelliger.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, Hydra on screen right now looks super comfortable, and yeah, the stats are pretty staggering. 16-3 so far in the 2015 WCS. Came in strong in Season 1, almost took it, got taken down by Pope, but got his revenge in Season 2 in the middle of the tournament, then went on to win it all, defeating Lobao in the finals. And here he is. I mean, overall, seeing him backstage and whatnot, he seemed just pretty content with where everything was. No issues. Looked very comfortable just waiting for his next game. He was watching the last one pretty carefully and just making sure that he's ready for anything that can happen in the upcoming matches.
Yeah, I expect him to just play super safe standard and just react. Like, maybe scout a little bit earlier, be willing to sack an Overlord or two just to, like, be sure what's happening. The maps are going to be interesting, but all in all, elfi's going to, like, I'm thinking, like, crazy, like, REM one base.
I want that.
Immortal all in.
I want to see that, because when I think about, you know, the players that have played against Hydra in this group, obviously Kelliger didn't do anything crazy, but he also didn't do the same builds that he ended up doing against Starbuck, who played very differently to him. My question, I guess maybe you know a bit more about this, Huck, is elfi the kind of guy to actually do the crazy stuff? Like, is he more likely than Kelliger would have been?
Yes, 100%. He's the guy that's going to proxy gate PVT.
That's a pretty bold play.
Yeah, in base. That he will do that. The question is whether he actually practiced it, to be honest. Because I don't think he necessarily completely prepared for this. I mean, he was a replacement.
Yeah, I mean,
last minute.
Yeah.
Did he actually
Did anybody prepare for a Protoss in this group?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that is the big question, of course, in everyone's mind. But it's the same boat for elfi, right? He didn't have all the time in the world. And let's look at the map picks. Coda slips through, and as we always mention, I mean, pretty standard map. Hydra's going to pick that up right away. So I want to start it off with as stable of a game as possible.
Yeah, and even Cactus Valley, it's a big map. It's a normal map. And it's just suited to macro play. I'm actually surprised to see elfi vetoing out Moonlight Madness because it is such a good PvZ map.
Now, on that point, though, I mean, I think what you just mentioned briefly, and of course what Jeff mentioned earlier, In Control mentioned in the cast, is that at the same time, you don't want to risk going out of your comfort zone just for the sake of trying something crazy, right? Because you're like, hey, you know what? Well, let's try this crazy map because it's favored and I can do a little bit newer things, and then you're like, wait, shoot, how does this work against? I haven't done it in a while, or I've only tried it a couple of times. It could have an effect on you and backfire.
If you have a pocket strategy that you don't use as much, that you wouldn't be comfortable in like a big money match, I can understand that. But if you're up against a wall that you would never be able to beat doing what you normally do,
worth it.
You might as well try.
That's fair enough. I mean, some of it, of course, depends on where you stand on it.
It comes down to how much pride elfi has to be.
I think that's the big line.
Because you're sitting there and you're thinking, how embarrassed do I have to be to actually try something that crazy?
Well, I think at the same time, if you take a loss to Hydra, it's not going to be too hurtful. Well, here we go. It's going to be for the first seed of Group B between these two players right now.
Hydra this, Hydra that. But I think you guys might have all forgot about the original cat godfather, elfi himself. And he is starting things off a little bit spicy here, Kevin.
Yep, let's just jump straight on in as we are loading into Coda. And as you guys may be able to see already, something is not right, but let's go ahead and introduce the players first. On the right one side of Coda, the reigning champ himself, it is Hydra. Of course, rapping root for root, enjoying himself in Northern California.
His opponents, hailing from Finland, home of some of the deadliest death metal there is, it is elfi. Now he's going for proxy gates, but he's getting drones scouted. How bad is this?
What a shocker that elfi is going for a proxy gate. It could be a proxy gate and a forge, knowing elfi.
That would give him a better chance, I would imagine, because right now, Hydra is like, okay, look, I'm the best guy here. I expect stuff like this. And make no mistake, guys, when he sees those drones and no pylon from the natural, he's not like, well, maybe it's a cannon rush. No. He knows this is proxy gates.
Yep, but it could be both, because this is elfi.
It is both.
Damn.
But I guarantee he's not, I mean, he's not thinking gateway forge. So this gives elfi a little bit more of a chance. Like if it was just 2 gateways right now, I'm ready to write it off. This is a quick, easy win for Hydra.
And what I like about this from Hydra is also making a small adjustment, right? If Hydra goes up against CJ Hero, he won't drone scout that early. You know, he's going to play it different. He's going to try to cut every corner he can. Going up against elfi, Hydra knows he's approaching this series. I'm the better player. If this game reaches the 15-minute mark, it's very unlikely I will ever lose. So what we are going to see over here instead is a very awkward cannon rush. By now, Hydra's probably wondering, what on earth is this guy doing? This doesn't make any sense. Now he's going to spot the gateway in the Zealot, and now he's suddenly like, okay, I sort of see what's going on. But he has 6 links on the way already. And as long as he stops these cannons, Hydra's going to be more than fine.
These drones are so smart, because at first glance, you'd be like, well, these drones can't possibly stand up to the Zealot. They're not here to stand up to the Zealot. They're here to buy time. This cannon only just now going down means that these 6 Zerglings are going to come out and not have to fight both a Zealot and a cannon. So this has been expertly defended so far from Hydra.
Yep. Oh, no cancel either on that cannon. That really hurts. This could potentially be the shortest game in WCS history. Tasteless.
We're making history.
Great micro from elfi here, though. Kind of a weird fight to take from Hydra. I'm not quite so sure about that.
I like that move, sending 3 Zerglings into the main base, because there is absolutely nothing in the main base.
But just 3. I mean,
3 is still very annoying.
Pretty annoying.
Does Hydra have a spine crawler? He doesn't, right?
No,
it's a little bit risky. You probably want to get a spine before you take one more bad fight against these Zealots, and suddenly you lose.
He's entering into elfi's world right now. This is like... Hydra has played in this situation 3 or 4 times. elfi
lives
here. Lives here.
He was born here.
You merely chose the darkness. I was born of it.
These zealots actually take out the queen. That's nice, but there is one more queen, and
They're
that's
deep red though.
Yeah,
and he's so casual, even injects. It's like, I'll turn around and shoot you in a second. There he goes.
And look at the amount of Zerglings that are on the way now. That's actually enough Zerglings to probably take out this cannon. Here you go. These 3 Zerglings, they're so annoying,
They've
man.
been annoying.
Yep.
But the Zerglings, now this is the curious part. Are they gonna? I wonder if they're gonna run. But I think that's
Oh,
actually the
Sarah?
first kill, though. By the way, no, it's 2.
2. But a lot of lost mining time.
See, now that Zealot going forward.
Now
is
you can
really
actually
silly.
take out the cannon. There's no Zealot there to protect it.
Yeah.
There's more than enough links to kill the cannon.
And he will.
Yep.
Coming down now.
And that's where things get very, very dicey for elfi. I love how Hydra just throws down the hatchery immediately as well. He's like, alright, these shenanigans are over. I'm gonna take out this pylon. I'm gonna take out the pylon that's powering your gateway. Right now, elfi has to be very quick with building. Well, I guess that gateway will
He'll
survive for a
wall
while.
in somewhere.
Yeah. Or he's just gonna march across the map. Maybe he's gonna get a defensive cannon. 1 base cannon! You know you're in trouble when you're
He's in a
building a
tough
cannon
spot.
in your main base against the Zerg on 1 base.
And he knows, like, yeah, he's just going to defend this ramp to get to 1 base while the Zerg's taking an expansion and probably a 3rd fairly soon if he really wants to.
There's absolutely no reason for Hydra to drop a gas right now. There's really no need for that. He has absolute map control. These Zerglings could still be very frustrating. One of the links squeezes by actually. So for now, elfi is going to stabilize, but he's stabilizing on 1 base.
Yeah.
Is that really
Honestly, with how many
stabilizing?
Zerglings died there, I would cancel almost everything and go take a Nexus.
Yeah,
Like,
you
let
may
the
as well.
Cyber Core finish, but just, I mean, that's his only, what are you going to do? Oh, actually, there's more Zerglings mid-map, so actually don't listen to Control. He would probably die right there.
Slow Zerglings will take out the
Cancel
Nexus.
everything, expand.
And then GG.
I'm actually surprised that Hydra is dropping 2 extractors before going up to 3 hatcheries.
Well, to be honest, the thought process there is probably like being up a base is advantage enough, and this guy is already so weird that I don't want to overextend and then get 4 gated or something like that, you know,
That's
or even 5 gated.
Yeah, I can definitely get behind that thought process. It makes a lot of sense. The Forge is down for elfi, so even if he has plans to 4-gate, it's not going to be a 4-gate with +1, so Zerglings will be able to do quite okay. He's
Kevin,
gonna-
by the way, it's really subtle. I want to point this out before we get too far away from it. A real subtle thing that I like a lot, Hydra could have picked off that pylon. He didn't have great surface area on it, but he could have scooted some Zerglings around the Forge and had at least 3 on it.
Yeah.
But he saw that his Zealot was being chrono boosted, and he knew he had more than enough Zerglings to kill that, so he let it finish to like maximize on the kill there. Does it have a huge impact in the game? No, but little things like that separate your Hydras from basically everybody else.
Yeah, it's an extra 100 minerals down the drain for elfi.
And
Got
a chrono boost.
Yeah, you got absolutely no return investment out of it. So indeed, well done. Hydra going up to Leia now. Could make a Hydra push. Could go 2-base Spire. A little tribute to Cats, his captain.
I like it. And I mean, I gotta tell you, like, as we're getting further away from the openings of this game, you can kind of see the breadth of the deficit. 23 Harvesters to the 38 of Hydra. Supply 47 versus a capped out elfi. You know, it's like it's getting worse and worse.
You know, I
Go
do want to
ahead.
ask you a question, Jeff, because
Yeah.
in the past we've seen world-class Koreans like Hydra still play pretty stubborn against a player like elfi. They'll go hatch first, no scout. Do you think the fact that Hydra lives in the foreign scene helps him to make adjustments like this and just scouts immediately? Probably Cat's telling him as well, like, hey, scout against elfi. Elfi's pretty weird.
Absolutely. I think that's a big part of it. I mean, knowing your opponent, even, like, so there's a little bit of it, you know, you think back to even the days where, like, Flash dominated Brood War.
Yeah.
And even
Hype overseers?
in the Korean scene, well, he wants to know everything, I guess.
I think he's gonna troll. I think he's gonna contaminate a bunch of buildings.
Okay.
I don't know why. Maybe contaminate Cybercore.
It's actually not a bad idea. Like, it's funny that it's coming out in a troll form, but it's actually good. But to finish my story, even back then, like, Flash was so far and above better than everybody else that he kind of knew going into matches that people were going to do weird stuff against him. So he played super safe, and he would scout his opponents, like, overly. And like, it wasn't like true Flash form. It was more just like he knew that he was getting targeted from a specific build.
Bunch of roaches are on the way for Hydra, so if elfi would have a robotics facility, there's absolutely no way he would ever get an Immortal out.
Right now,
because
he's like, oh, jeez.
that would get contaminated for days. I guess these overseers can start dropping creep at potential base. I have no idea what he's going to do with all these...
He's having fun. He's letting his
Yeah.
hair out. I like the contaminate idea, though. I've actually thought about that. Like,
Yeah.
overseers are not expensive, and we all know that feel when you're like making a Colossus or starting an upgrade and they come and contaminate, and it just takes forever to finish.
Yeah, I've thought about this as well, but the Zerg players will always say that overseers are actually expensive and that you can't afford that much gas.
But they say that about everything.
That's
it's
true.
Like, hey
They're
guys,
like,
make
my
Nidus rooms. They're like, do you know how much a Nidus room costs?
Do you know how expensive roaches are? It's like 25 gas? Like, really, guys? Like,
yeah, but 75 minerals too.
Look,
like, that's my voice in control.
Overlord speed is about to finish off, so...
That's what he's waiting for, I guess.
Yeah. Alright, Contaminate Madness. Some cheeky force fields that going down. Most of these roads will get picked off, but elfi doesn't even want to bother anymore.
GG timing.
Yeah, that thing kind of...
That's like an emotional one. It's like 5 overseers. He's like, okay, I'm just stop. I understand. I get it. Message received.
That's like when you leave against a Terran when you're losing a battle, and you know it's the type of Terran that drops mules, so you just tap out very quickly so he can't drop the mules.
And they're talking about taking the mule away. Yeah. That was one of my favorite, like, one of the first posts from a Terran I saw was, how am I supposed to bad manner my opponents if I can't manner mule them? It's like, well, everything still dances. You can do that. But you know what? elfi tried something. He tried something super risky. We were talking about this earlier with Kalizer and saying, you know, maybe he should try mech or some kind of proxy barracks, something to disrupt the monster that is Hydra, but he never did it, played straight up and got just as butchered. So I expect this from elfi. I think, unfortunately for him, so did Hydra. So we'll have to see what he's going to bust out in Game 2.
Yeah, it really helps for Hydra so much that he's on a foreign team, talks with his teammates as well. They probably prepare him for crazy shenanigans like
Cats
this.
has like a profile on elfi. He's like, no.
Hydra's like, maybe double hatch before pool, and Cats is like, no, absolutely not, Hydra. You're going to go pool first, and you will scout with a drone. Okay, boss.
He's like, what about on Cactus Valley? He's like, no.
Nope.
You're 2 drone scouting on this map. You're pool first, and you're hatching only at minute 9.
And you'll still be ahead.
Yeah.
Don't worry. He's like, really, boss? Absolutely, Hydra.
His base will be in 4 different corners. There'll be Dark Templar coming at the same time as Oracles. You just have to be ready for it all.
I really love the 5 overseers, and I kind of wonder what he wants to do with it. But,
yeah, it took a while to set that up. I was expecting more. Like, just fly him in and start pooping on stuff. That's what they do.
I mean, they need to get a little bit of energy, right? I don't think they have energy
It's
to
75,
contaminate.
I think.
Do they spawn with 75?